I'm Melissa LAINN, and welcome to the LifeKraft podcast. LifeKraft is passionate about helping you live your everyday life better by sharing inspiration, awareness, and tools to enable you to create a fulfilling life. I'm sure, like most of us, you'd like to make 2022 your best financial year yet. But like many of the goals we set and the resolutions we make, we don't really focus on the needle-moving aspects of our financial goals, and by the end of the year, we have not achieved what we set out to accomplish in January. In this episode, financial planner Adele Barnard shares simple tips with us that can help you know what type of money resolutions to set and how to create more money confidence in you for the year ahead. Are you ready to make this your best financial year yet? Well, then I'd appreciate if you would subscribe to this podcast, download this episode, and let us know what your biggest takeaway or aha moment was by leaving a positive review or sharing it on social media by tagging at the LifeKraft and our guest at Adele.Barnard. Enjoy the episode. On today's episode, we have the lovely Adele Barnard, who is our favorite financial planner. Adele, welcome to the LifeKraft podcast and welcome to 2022. I know we're recording this ahead of time, but I think we need to get into the vibe of 2022. And I would love for you to help us this episode to make 2022 our best financial year yet.
Oh, Melissa and the LifeKraft, thank you so much for having me. It's good to be back, kicking off 2022. It's great chatting about 22 already. I think we're so excited. And I just love how you're putting it out there. We're manifesting that 2022 will be the best financial year yet. And it all starts with planning and having these chats and listening. So, yay.
Absolutely. So I know you have a couple of tips for us to really just get into that mindset of, as you say, manifesting it, setting that intention, having that goal, having that thing that you are aiming for, because where our focus goes is where our energy will flow. And that will generate immense amounts of wealth for us if we really just go all out in 1 year. And I always like telling my health coaching clients that if you focus on your health for just 1 year, for 12 months, you set a bunch of big goals, and that is your entire focus for an entire year. Even if you quote unquote fail, you will still have gotten so much further than you would have if you did not set that intention, if you did not set that goal. So what can we do to start making 2022 our best financial year yet?
I totally agree with you. I will be better off than when we started with. And that applies to our finances as well with financial planning. So I always say, just to start off with financial planning, it's everything regarding your personal finances. And if we want to make 22 the best one yet, we need to set money resolutions for ourselves. I think we're in for a challenging time. 2021 was challenging already. So that's why I always say we start off by making time for your money. I know it sounds so silly, but so often we're constantly in busy culture, and I'm not about burnout culture and the likes, but we need to make time for our money. And the reason I say that is because if you make time for your money, so you'll have a money date, right? You can either do that monthly or weekly, or you must do what works for you. I always say with a budget as well, if you want to do it in a book or on an app, I recommend an app or an Excel, doesn't matter. If it works for you, you will stick to it and you will do it. So for me, the main thing is having a money date with yourself. And obviously, if you've got a partner, please sit with them as well for 2022 to have the best money habits. And also what's also important, I think that we obviously in January, that hopefully you have set the money aside for all your debit orders to get through this 365 days. And the intention starts now, because remember, next year again, January will come around. So if you make it a habit, and if you get into healthy habits, and yes, like you said, we do fail and we do fall off the wagon and we make mistakes, but as long as we learn from them. I think what's also important, and it's everyone's least favorite word, so I'm going to make a spending plan or budget. Get the app. I know we're so tired of it, but it really is the best way to do it, to see where your money goes. And like you said, the flow comes from there, right? To check where it goes so that you can prepare for the unforeseen, or maybe you're getting married, or there's a major life event, or you want to purchase a home, or you just want to create wealth, or whatever it is that you want to set yourself up for 2022. that it flows from there. And please write it down as well. I think that's the other thing that's very important. Write your goals down. That's a big tip I learned from you as well, is if you see it, if it's visual, whether it's on your phone or on notes or on your desktop screen or laptop screen or wherever, if you see something, you're going to work towards it. I think what's also important is for 2022 to bear in mind, and I've touched on it before, you must have an emergency fund and the likes, but also we'll expect interest rates to rise and things like that. And I mean, 2021 was already tough on us. We need to invest to make more money. So we need to live with less of our money and invest more, so that our money can make money babies, ultimately. I think something that's also very important, I want to encourage everyone to do it now in January already, and you can get in touch with me, so I get a complimentary session with me to create your will, so that you've got that peace of mind, because if you've done it, you can tick all the boxes and you know it's done. You can live your best life for the rest of 2022 and create short-term and long-term goals for yourself. I always say Rome wasn't built in a day, obviously. So create short-term goals and say, I want to achieve X, or I want to travel this year to X place and I'm going to save this much, or I want to get rid of my debt. There's various goals you can have, and there's no such thing as a silly or stupid goal, a financial goal to have. And then I think we all know how it feels. It's good when you tick something off and you're like, oh, I did this. So that's it. Yeah, that's it for me with resolutions and tips.
Yes, I love those resolutions. And I think it's so important. One of the things that I learned from studying so many high performers is you have to look at your goals. So literally be very specific, especially with a money goal. If you just say, I want more money, I can give you R1 and you literally have more money than you had before. So be so specific with the amount. And then just if you want to work with the universe or whatever you want to call it, know what you want it for. There is a power in the need. What do I need this money for? I want to pay off my debt. How much do I need? This much. By when would I like that achieved? By the end of the year. Be very specific. Don't just have this random goal. I want more money in 2022. I promise you, if you go and look, you might. If you pick up R5 from the street, you'll have more money. But be so intentional with the goal and so specific.
Melissa, I love that, because it's such a relative term. Like you said, we need to be specific, because that's just the best term. I've had a client that shared with me recently. She's like, if someone asked me today how much is enough money or how much is enough, I wouldn't have a figure. And we had a conversation like, that's actually the problem. We always say, oh, I don't want to work forever, or if I had more money, my problems would be solved. But what is that actual figure? And I think that's so important. And it's also important to check and reflect, where am I financially at this point in time? Sometimes we don't want to look at the numbers. We are scared, but pull those bank statements, check your credit report, because any sports team or sports player, they don't just start and go out there. The Springboks don't just go and play rugby. They train. They've got a game plan. And that's the same to your finances at the end of the day. So look where you are, pull the info, get yourself some highlighters, work through everything, organize it and see, okay, this is the plan. I want to get rid of my debt is X amount. I want to get rid of that. How long is it going to take me? Is it a couple of months, a year or two? I don't know. Write it down and be, like you said, be specific. I think that also assists to master money mindset, ultimately. And that's what we want. There must be a plan of action.
I like having a plan of action. And I think if you don't know how to set your own plan of action, one of your goals could be to maybe get a financial planner.
Yes.
Or perhaps just to purchase more books or listen to more podcast episodes, just so that you get into that money mindset. But that can also be a goal, just consuming more content, learning more about money, because as you always say, it is like this relationship you need to have with it. It's not something that's just going to happen. None of us were born with it. We didn't I was not born with knowing how money works and how to make my money make money for me. And if one of your goals is, I want to invest this year, maybe do a bit of research, maybe go and see someone, maybe learn from someone, maybe subscribe to a couple of podcasts so that you just start consuming that. And that already is going to set you on a whole different path compared to, say, 2021, where you just wanted more money. We all just want more money.
We all do. But Melissa, just to add in there, and you're so right by saying, I think at the end of the day, we view or we see that, okay, it's more money. We're always chasing the next thing. But we need to live in the moment and see and start with the basics. I always say, except for budgeting and if you look at your existing portfolio, but also check your net worth. For some of us, that might be a scary thing. For some of us, might be exciting thing. And with your net worth is like, look at everything you own, like all your assets, and you subtract your liabilities. And then and that doesn't define you. But unfortunately, money makes the world go round. So we all need money as a way of means to get things done. But the key takeaway from what you've just shared with us is the more we know, the better we do. So whether it's with our finances, our health, life in general. And I personally live by what Warren Buffett said. When I go to bed at night, I need to go to bed with more info or more knowledge than what I woke up with in the morning. And that is, I think that's just incredible, because yes, we all work hard and life is busy and there's various things, but we need to make time. We need to set time aside. And like I said, reading or listening to podcasts. And we can't be experts in all fields. But if we know more, we'll do better, and we can improve our relationship with money. We can improve our finances. We can create that wealth that we are, I don't want to say chase, but everyone is seeking, right? And to build your wealth and accumulate it at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I think find your why. Have that bigger why than just, I want more money. Have a why. Have that something that this will make X in my life easier. This will take pressure off me and my family. This will actually make me a happier person because I won't be as stressed. And don't just see it as, I need to save money. You're an amazing individual. If you're listening to this podcast, you have the ability to generate more income. By attaining more skills, by understanding your finances, and by seeing where money might be seeping out, where you could actually save and invest that money. But you have the ability to change the game for yourself in 2022. And why not? Use Adele's advice and make this the year that it actually happens.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, like with basic things, and don't overwhelm yourself as well, because that's one thing you talk, if we overwhelm, our brain shuts down. So just dip your toes into it and see whether it's reading, chatting to your partner. I mean, I think, Melissa, we can even chat about that. I think that's one of the most daunting or intimidating things is first of all, to talk about money, because we feel it's such a taboo topic. Then second of all, talking it to about your partner. So I think that's where it comes in, to set just good goals, align ourselves to master money mindset for 2022 and get down or back to the basics of money. That's it for me as well. I think we start our jobs and we work and we get consumed by it. And then somewhere along the line, we forget about the basics of money, like compound interest and how it can work for us. Like Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And those who understand it, makes it work for them, So that's the people that invest, the passive income streams. And those who don't understand it is, unfortunately, sometimes there's reasons for people that use live off credit or retail accounts. There's no one size fits all solution. But at the end of the day, we all love what we do, but no one wants to work forever, and we're getting older. So I think the best time, to start planning, like they said, was yesterday. The second best time is today. And I think that is my ultimate message. It's never too late. So just start, just face the music, face the finances, face your finances, and be like, this is the situation now, and that's the ultimate goal. And like you said, to specify it. And also we spoke about on another episode about when we broke down the 10,000 Rand, but do like a money challenge. Be like, okay, I'm going to put 100 Rand aside, because there is value in seeing, I can do this, I can achieve this. Just also, I think, confidence. I think that's a big issue that we struggle with in South Africa. We're not financially confident.
Yes.
And I think that would also be, for me, in addition to us saying, define your money goals for the year, but also live confidently. So if I decide to do something, I put my mind to it, you must be all in, not 10%, not 15%. I want to say 200%, because if we do it with confidence already, it's a game changer, literally.
Yes. And the only way you get confidence is if you practice. You just do. You take massive action. Take that massive action when it comes to your finances. So we're going to set money resolutions. We're going to make time for a money date. We're going to make time for our money in 2022. We're going to talk about it with our partners. We're going to face the music. We're going to learn about the area of money we want to master in this year, whether it's paying off your debt, investing, learning about wills, learning about, all of those types of things, whatever it is for you. And then we are going to start generating confidence when it comes to our money. And that sounds like a game plan. Adele, what do you say?
I absolutely agree. I'm here for this. I'll be your money coach. I'll be your budget buddy, whatever term. I think also just to make it practical and go over into action, please start by yourself. But also if you are a little, unsure or nervous, get in touch, partner with a financial planner, get in touch with me. It always helps to have someone, and like I always say, the best is to chat to someone you don't know. And
yes.
If you don't know me, get in touch, because once you also, if you say things out loud and you're like, okay, and then just get a professional, reach out to a accredited financial planner like myself, or if someone you resonate with. I always say, like, your financial planner is almost like going to the doctor. And then my one client said, Adele's like going to the gynae, like everything is on the table. And I was like, yes, that's basically what it comes down to, literally. So I think that's very important, that you're comfortable with the person, you trust them, and so that you can literally live with confidence and live your best life. And may 2022 be your best financial year yet.
I want to remind everyone that it might sound like you're going to talk to someone like Adele and it's just going to be all the negatives, because you probably feel like you're already in a bad situation with your finances and now you need help. But I promise you, take from my own life experience, you can see the good in there as well. You can see the increase in your finances. You can see how you've gotten promotions, built your business. That side of it is there too. And that side should not be ignored. So when you look at your finances and when you have someone that's going to help you create more wealth in your life, it's not just the bad stuff. It's not just the things you do wrong, the lack of money you might feel you have. It's also looking at, well, there you're doing well, and that actually works for you, and keep doing that. That's also part of it. So it's always that old saying of be very clear about where you are right now, but don't make as if it's worse than it is. But don't make as if it's better than it is either. Just look at reality. There's always good and bad. And if you just face that, you can make 2022 an amazing year for you when it comes to your finances. Absolutely. Adele, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for inspiring us to have a really great 2022 already. And where can people get into contact with you?
Melissa, thank you so much. Always the best time chatting money about you, our money dates. Everyone can get in touch with me, Adele Barnard. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Adele.Barnard. And you'll share my details. Get in touch with me. And please, I want to encourage everyone that's listening to this, go over into action. I think it is intimidating and daunting, but I promise you, just trust the journey and you'll live your best financially confident life after we've had a chat. So that's it. Thanks from my side.
Thank you so much. I look forward to 2022 and hearing about your money resolutions as well. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode and taking the time to invest in yourself and in your future. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with us by leaving a positive review or tagging us in a post or in your stories. Share one thing that stood out or inspired you to live your everyday life better. This helps us create more meaningful episodes for you to enjoy. If you're not already following us on social media, be sure to follow @LifeKraft for more inspiration and tools to help you live your most powerful life. And remember, you always have the power to craft a better life for yourself, and we are here to help you do just that. We'll connect again in the next episode, and until then, keep creating a life that you're excited to wake up to. We enjoy bringing you interviews from experts and everyday people so that they can talk about their experiences and share information, tips, and what has worked for them on their journey towards a better life. However, remember that the opinions or advice of our guests and myself, the host, should not be taken as personal, actionable advice and is given as general information and education only. Please always remember to consult a qualified professional before implementing any medical, financial, legal, or other advice that you believe might work for you. LifeKraft is not responsible nor liable for your decision when implementing anything you hear on the podcast. Please listen and act responsibly. The opinions of our guests do not represent the opinions or views of LifeKraft or Melissa LAINN personally and are meant as information and general education only.